Good morning, Rabbi Isai. We're holding a brand new perek. Daf Kuf Daled Amud Beis. Harei Elai Yisoroin Yovi Echad. This is no chiddush at all. If a person uses a singular lashon, Harei Elai Yisoroin, I take upon myself to bring one Yisoroin, Yovi Echad, you should bring one. If he says plural, Esroi Nois, Yovi Shnaim. So this is a little bit more of a chiddush, that he only brings two, he doesn't bring more than two. Minimum of the plural is two, and it's not more than two. Pay attention. This case is going to be brought down twice in the Mishnah. Pirashti, ve'eni yoidea ma pirashti. I said I'm going to bring a mincha, but I have no clue what I said. So, unfortunately for him, Yavi Shishim Esarin. The most the person can bring in one mincha is 60 Esarin. So perhaps he said 60 Esarin. We don't know. Now, what if he said 59, not 60? How can he bring 60? 59 is the chayv. 1 is an adava. 59 is for his obligation. Let's say he said 30. 30 is his obligation. The other 30 is not his obligation. And they're all in one kli. So what do? You do the classic, which is a t'nai. You say, whatever, if it was 30, so the 30 is my chayv, the rest I'm giving an adava. Whatever my chayv is, that's what I'm giving. And whatever's in the kli, the leftover, that will be, you have to make a condition. Yes, you have to specify. Harei alai mincha. What if a person doesn't say what kind of mincha? So there are 5 classics, and you would bring one of these 5. Yavi ezish yirtza. You bring any one you want. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Yavi minchas hasoilos. No. 1. There's the default. There's a default mincha. If you don't specify what, so the default is a minchas soilos, number 1 on the list. Shehi miyuchedesh b'menachos. That's the most special. That's the default. So Harei Elai Yavi ezish. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Yavi minchas hasoilos mincha oy min hamincha. So if a person says Harei Elai mincha, how much is that? Mincha 1. Or he says Harei Elai min hamincha. He doesn't say mine, he says min. A type of, which is 1, singular. Min is a singular. Hamincha singular. So here are the 2 cases. Harei Elai min mincha. Min mincha is 1. It's singular. Min menachos is 2. That's the next case. Harei Elai menachos. Oy min menachos, plural. Yavishtaim. That's in his lashon. His lashon is menachos, which means 2, so he brings 2. The Gemara is just going to ask, and actually make a whole thing out of it. What if he says gimel? Harei Elai mine mincha. Mine seems like 2. Mincha seems like 1. It's a contradiction in his words. So what do? What do you say?
Types.
So how many? 2?
Minimum is 2. 3 types of minchas.
Okay, so Gemara is going to go through the question, explain it nicely, try to learn from the first case, try to learn from the second case, try to learn from a different case. So let's see. We'll see the Gemara. I'm just throwing it out here because we just said 2 cases. I'm throwing out the 3rd case so you don't get all famished. Aleph and Beis is in the Mishnah that we just read. Min mincha, min menachos. The simplest of the simple. Pirashti ve'eni yoidea ezimem pirashti. I said I'm going to bring one of these 5. I might have said a machvas, I might have said a marcheshes. I have no clue what I said. Yavi chamishton. So, unfortunately, nebach to you have to bring all 5. Now, this seems very, very similar to the first case of the Mishnah. And it might be the same. We have a machlokes in the Gemara if it's different or not. Pirashti mincha shel Yisroelim ve'eni yoidea kame pirashti. I said there's going to be at least 1 Isarin, maybe 2 Yisroelim, maybe 5. Yavi shishim Isarin. So, because I don't know what I said, and the maximum is 60, I'll bring 60. Rabbi Yomer, Yovi Menachos, Shel Esroinois Me'echad Ve'ad Shishim. Says Rabbi, this is unbelievable. This guy messed up royally. Mamish messed up. Instead of him bringing 3 Isroinim, he has to bring a Kli that has 1 Isarin in it, because he might have said 1. He has to bring another Kli that has 2. He has to bring another Kli that has 3. And another Kli that has 4, 5, 6, 10, 31. Another Kli that has 52. Another Kli that has 59. And finally, a Kli that has 60. So how do you do the math? It's very, very simple. We have 60. Rabbi say 60. Our number is 60. So you take 60, divide it in half. That's 30. How much is 3 times 6, just for Panovich people? 18. So it's 30 times 60 is how much? 1,800. But there's 1. You have to add the 1. So it's 30 plus 1 is another 30. So it's 1,830. That's the number. That's the number of Yisroelim that you need. 1,830. So Pshita. Says the Gemara on the first line of the Mishnah. If a person says Harei Alai Isaroin, a kid in kindergarten knows that it means 1. Pshita. Says the Gemara, you're right. It's the second case that's important, and that's a little bit of a chiddush. Hanami pshita, that's also pashut. Hard to understand exact back and forth there. Mio, that's one way to read it. That is a chiddush that not more than 2. That the minimum of plural is 2, but not more than 2. Okay. So, just where did here? You have case number 1 in the Mishnah. Pirashti ve'enidem pirashti. I said I'm going to bring a mincha. I have no idea. So the Mishnah says Yovi shishim misarin. And then look at this thing. It says it again. Pirashti Yovi shishim misarin. Pirashti. It's mamish the same words. Pirashti. You should bring 60. Mamish like the Mishnah. But over here you have Rebbe Yomer Yovi Menachos Shel Esroinim. You do 1 till 60. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. It's 1,830. So what's the difference between the Reish and the Seifa? Says the Gemara, Mantana, Chizkiah, the Loike Rebbe. Chizkiah, the Loike Rebbe. The first, the blue part on top, Pirashi, any of them are Pirashi, and it's just one sheet, the Yavi, is not going according to Rebbe. The Rebbe, Yavi Menachos Shel Esroinim, is Mechad Shishim. Rebbe says, Mefurish, you should do 1 plus 2 plus 3. Rebbe Yochanan Amar, no. It's 2 different cases. I feel the time of Rebbe. The case is, Bo'imir Pirashti Esroinois, Avaloi Kavatim Bekli. The first case is, I said I'm going to bring a certain amount of flour, but I never said in how many vessels. The Maisi Shitim Esroin is Beshitim money. So what you have to do is, you bring 60 Isaron, but just in 60 Kalim. 60. So you don't gain anything in terms of the vessels. You have to put it in 60 pots, but only each pot gets 1 Isaron for a total of 60. Worst comes to worst, what? You said 39? So you take 39 bowls, and that's your thing. You don't have to do in each bowl 2, and then the second bowl 3, and 4, and 5. You don't have to do that. Each bowl is just going to have 1 isarin. Just make sure you have 60 bowls, and then you cover all your bases. Masha'en Kain in the Seifa, he said it was a certain amount, and each amount was by itself in a bowl. So if each amount is by itself in a bowl, so now it's possible 39 isarin in one bowl, 52 isarin in one bowl, 7 in one bowl. So now I have to go through 1 through 60, every bowl a different amount. If I didn't say that the bowl is important, then I could just bring 1 isarin per bowl. Those are the 2 cases. Rabbi Yomer Yovi Menachos, let's do it again. I never said how many vessels. The Maisi Shitin Esroinos, Beshitin money, then I could just bring 60 and 60 different vessels. And we had Rabbi Yehuda arguing on this and says, no, if I say mincha, you can't bring any one of the 5 you want. There's a default, there's a brirat michdal, and the default is silas. What's so chashuv? Rabbi Yehuda says, oh, it's shehim yuchedesh b'menachos. It's the most important one. Why? So maybe the pshat is we're starting off saying the The Torah, the first mincha mentioned in the Torah is minchas soilas. Wait a minute. If what the Torah says first is the most important, so then every time a person says oila, I'm bringing oila, you must bring a cow, which is super expensive, versus a sheep. If he says minatza in yavi keves, he can't bring a goat, he has to bring a sheep. Why? Because of because the Torah mentions it first. Minaiv, when he says I'm going to bring a bird, yavi Torah, he should bring a Torah, not a dog. Not a pigeon. Because that's first in the Torah. But the fact is, it says in the Mishnah, the person says he could bring a sheep, not a cow. According to what you're saying, it should be a cow because it's first in the Torah. He can bring whatever he wants. Rabbi Yehuda doesn't argue. So we have to say pshat. What he says in the Mishnah, that the reason why you bring a soilas is because it's miuchedes, it's special. The less lay shem levai. It doesn't have another name. Like if somebody says, I'm doing daf. What does daf mean? Daf means daf yomi. It doesn't mean any other kind of daf that you have in Eretz Yisrael, you have in a school, you have a daf kesher, you have a daf this, daf that. No, it's one thing. Check this out. Typical mincha in the pasuk says it's called minchas marcheshes. How does the Torah call a soilas? It's not called minchas soilas. It's called minchal Hashem. Soilas yer kurbani. It's not a mincha soilas. It's by itself. It doesn't say the word mincha. Soilas has nothing accompanying it. It's by itself. So when a person says mincha, he means soilas. But the problem is, you just said the reason is because it's the first in the pasuk. In other words, the main reason is because it doesn't have an accompanying name. That's the main thing. But how do I remember it? It's the first one that the Torah starts off with. Pshita. You're telling me we're talking about soilas. Simona ba'alma. This is Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi said. The tzachadash b'chav. Okay. Mincha mina mincha. So here's the question again. So let's just see it again. Here are the two. No, sorry, not this one. These are the two cases in the Mishnah. Min mincha. Anybody knows Hebrew? Simple diktuk. Mincha is very, very singular. It means one. Min menachos. It means two. Although you could. Okay. Boy Rav Papa. Mine mincha mahu. What if he adds case number 3 in the bottom? Gimel. He says mine mincha. So on the one hand, mine means 2, mincha means 1. So what do you do? So the Gemara explains the question. Kivin amar mine, tired Gemara means 2. Umay mincha. But why do you say mincha? It seems like a contradiction, and you should do palgin dibura like he asked. No. Dukula mincha is nami mincha mikarion. You know, that's the lashon of the pasuk. You talk about all these menachos, and at the end the Torah calls it in a singular lashon. I have no idea where he is. He disappeared. He asked the question and ran. Okay. Perhaps mincha means 1. Why did he say plural in the beginning? From all the 5 types, I want to bring 1. Toshma. Huh?
They didn't say mimine mincha.
Okay. I got it. Toshma. Mincha. Min mincha. Yavi achas. So, basically, all the Gemara is doing, let's just leave this on the thing for a second. The Gemara says, take a look at case Aleph, all the way on the top. It says min mincha, so, and that's 1. Mashma, let's just do the outside, very simple. Mashma from case Aleph, that if you change the wording a little bit, and instead of saying min, you do mine, it should be 2. Only Aleph means 1, but anything different than Aleph should be 2. So what's the classic Gemara going to ask? But from case Beis, is mashma david. Only menachos is 2, but if you change the wording to mini mincha is going to be 1. So bekitzer, what does Gemara say? You're right. Since I can't go from what? Something like that. Since it's a little bit of a problem from Aleph is mashma that it's 2, from Beis is mashma that it's 1. So we're not going to learn from our Mishnah. Tashma from our Mishnah it says mincha min mincha yavi achas case Aleph. But if I change it to case Gimel, Shtein. Otherwise, it would have said case Gimel in the Mishnah. No, Ema Seifa, let's learn from the Seifa. Menachos. Min menachos. If a person says, Harei alai min menachos. in that case beis yavi shtayim. The middle case, you'll bring 2. So I could infer ha mini mincha, but if I change the wording around, chada ela maha lekol mashma mina. I can't learn not from the Reish, not from Seifa, so let's go by Tashma. But over here, the only difference that changes now is that there's only one case in this brisa. I don't have 2 cases contradicting each other. So I'm going to do the same exact thing again, but I don't have, it's mashma from the Reish like this, from the Seifa like that. Over here, I just have a Seifa. I have case beis. It says in the brisa, min menachos alai, yavi shtei menachos min menachot. You bring 2. But if I change the wording around to mini mincha, I'll only bring 1. Ha mini mincha. Says Gemara, beautiful, you inferred well, but perhaps you should infer it slightly different, and then I don't have a good outcome. That what? You're right, case Gimel is going to be different than case Beis. What's the outcome of case Beis? That you bring 2. So the Gemara wants to infer that case Gimel, you bring 1. No, maybe case Gimel, you'll bring 1, 2, total 2, but from different types. That's basically what Gil was saying before. Minei mincha, different types of minachas, 1 from 2 different types. 1 marcheshes, 1 machvas. Whereas case beis is going to be 2 from the same type. Maybe so maybe I can't infer it. But we don't learn like that in the Brayos. It says min minachas alai. Where's that? This I had to do a little surgery myself. Min menachos alai. Case number 1 on top. Case Aleph. Maybe shtei menachos min min echad. He has to bring 2 menachos, but from one type. Mini menachos alai. Case Beis. Mini menachos. Maybe shtei menachos mishtei minim. 1 times 2. 1 mincha from 2 minim. I wrote there. Ha mine mincha chada. But our case, harele mine mincha, you should only bring 1. Look, the 2 top cases is 2, but I can infer that if I change the wording around a little bit, it should be 1. Says Gemara Dilma Hamani Reb Shimoni. No, maybe this goes like Reb Shimon. Da'amar. Mechza Chaz and Mechza Rikikin Yavi. We had Reb Shimon many times in this Masechta, at least 3. No, I think more. But we had him a bunch of times. So what? That if a person, you have 5 menachos. Check out number 4, number 5. Number 4 and 5, they go together. Reb Shimon actually says that you can mix and match. That's important for our sugi now, just to go back a little bit. Chazarah, Chalois and Rikikin. The Tanna Kama holds no. If a person says Chalois, if he says Mincha, he can only bring 10 Chalois or 10 Rikikin. Reb Shimon says no. In fact, you can bring 5 Chalois and 5 Rikikin. You can't do that with Marcheshes and Chalois or Soilas and Chalois, but Chalois and Rikikin you can mix and match. You can do 6 and 4 if you want, 1 and 9, whatever you want. Okay. So in Mela, this wording could go like Reb Shimon. That what? Harei alai mini mincha. It's different types in 1 mincha. A chalis and rikikin, mine, and it becomes 1 mincha. Umay mine mincha. Mincha is but trei mine. It's 2 types in 1 mincha. Rabbanan Amri mechza chalis mechza rikikin lo yavi. Rabbanan hold you cannot mix and match. Maybe shtei menachos, shtei minim. They in fact hold it has to be 2 different types of menachos. If a person has no idea what mincha he said, he might have said a soilis, he might have said a machvas. He has to bring all 5. This does not go like Reb Shimon. The Reb Shimon came to Omar mechza chalis mechza rikikin yavi. Inami sover lo Reb Yehuda dama kol menachos boys eser ikul sapuka ba'arba esrei menachos. Super simple. Check this out. What do we have on the screen here? 5 types of menachos. So if a guy doesn't know what he said, he has to bring 5. How many chalos will he bring? 10. How many rikikin does he bring? 10. The problem is, what if he tried to mix the chalos and rikikin? 5 of each. So he has to bring 5 chalos and 5 rikikin. So that's already 6 varieties. And what if he said 6 and 4? So that's 7 varieties. What? The combinations that are available to you are 14 total. Why? The 5 that we have on the screen, but the bottom 2, number 4 and 5, Rikikin and Chalois, you can mix and match. So L'mashal, only according to Reb Shimon, here, you would have to typically bring 10 Rikikin and 10 Chalois. That's normal. But what if he said 1 rakik and 9 chalas. So you have to bring 1 and 9. The guy is he allowed to say, according to Reb Shimon, is he allowed to say one rakik and 9 chalas? He's allowed to. You're allowed to mix. So he has to bring this. Maybe he said this. The guy who's the guy says, I brought a mincha. I forgot what I said. So maybe you said 1 rakik and 9 chalas. So bring 1 rakik and 9 chalas. But maybe you said 2 rakik and 8 chalas. So you have to bring that. That's another variety. And another variety. How many total combinations are there, Rabbi Yisai? 9. Because it's 9 and 1. 1 and 9. So there's only 9 varieties. Plus, there's another 2. 10. 10 and 0 of rakik. 10 and 0 of chalos. So that's 11. Plus 3 more, which are, let's go back to the 3 more, the top ones. Soilus, machvas, and marcheshes, a total of 14. Is everybody with me? We have to do Chazarah. Abaya Omar. Afilu Temer Reb Shimon. No, it could go like Reb Shimon. Then what? Nachamol. We said that you could bring five menachos in the Mishnah. You could bring all 5. According to Reb Shimon, you have to bring 14 because there's another 9 permutations. What? Who? What? Combinations. There's another 9 combinations. So it can't be Reb Shimon. He says no, it could be Reb Shimon. Bring 5. Rabbi said bring 5. 10 chalos, 10 rikikin, and make it 9. Say if it was 1 from here and 9 from here, or 2 from here and 8 from there, what's the problem? All you need to do is make a condition. So Baruch Hashem, Rashi, if Rashi does it short, I'm also going to do it short. He doesn't go. It's a little bit of a complicated situation. This guy is having a terrible, terrible day. He's not sure if he's a mitzayra, like a muchlat and a muzgar. He's one or the other, and he's not sure if he's a nazir. He's completely confused. Now. No. He is both of these. He just doesn't know if he's a real Nazir or a fake Nazir. This guy's a Nazir. He's 100% a Nazir. Now he doesn't know if he went to when he was in the funeral, did he touch the body? Did he do oil? He doesn't know. So what should he do? Think about it. If he knows for sure that he touched the dead body, what does he do? Gets a haircut, starts all over again. Brings korbanos, starts all over. But he cannot do that. You can't just take a haircut while you're a Nazir. If you're a Nazir and you take a haircut, you're over Issa Deraisa. If you knew for sure, okay. So what does he do? Very simple. He waits till the end of the 30 days. His typical Nazir is 30. Waits to 30. Gets a haircut. Because anyways, you would have to get a haircut even if he was a Nazir. And then he starts over again. So he has a total of 60 days. At the same time, he also doesn't know if he's a Mitzayr, Muchlar, or Muzgar that kind of put him in for 2 weeks, 1 week. So is he a complete Mitzayr or not? Okay, the bottom line is you have a guy that's very confused here, and he's supposed to bring, it says over here, L'machras, after day 60 and 61, maybe Hashamai Veluga Ima, you should bring a carbon asham like a Nazir does, with the oil that a Nazir, everybody knows, Nazir, yeah? The famous videos that we have, put it on the finger, on this head, V'oimer. And he makes a condition here. See, Reb Shimon says he can make a condition. Now what? If I'm a mitzayra, I'm bringing my carbon asham. Vim lav, asham zeh yesham in the. If not, my asham is not a asham. My asham is a shlamim. Let's think about it. Everybody knows the answer to this. We're just going to do chazara. Asham is on what category? Kachim or kachim kalim? Asham. Huh? Let's ask the 11-year-old. It's time at Ari. What do you say? Kachim. What do you say? Okay, kachim. I go with the kid. It's kachim. What's shlamim? Kalim. So we have a big problem because there's big differences between the two. You can't take an asham and say, oh, it should be a shlamim. So you have to be machmer in each one, whatever chumr it has. For instance, asham ton shchita b'tzafin. A kachim, a chatos an asham, and a shalmei tzibur. You could only do shchita on the north part of the Chazarah. A shlamim you could do in the south, but it doesn't matter. Let's just be machmir and say this animal, since it might be an asham, let's shecht it only in the tzafin. And you go through the whole process of a mitzayru, matan b'hoynos, and you put the oil on its thumb and his big finger, blood, the whole thing. Usmicha. Now this is not for a nashim. This is only for shlamim. So you lean on it. Unasachim, you bring wine. This is not for a nashim. This is only for shlamim. Right? Every shlamim and every oil gets nesachim. Utnuvas chazav v'shaik. This is only for shlamim that you lift up the chaza and the shaik in the ear. You do the whole na'anuim. Now this is for how long could you eat kachim for? Only for 1 day. How long can you eat shlamim for? 2 days. So what do? You only eat it for 1 day. What's the problem? What's the problem if you take something that you could eat for 2 days and only eat it for 1 day? Let's see if the 11-year-old knows. Let's see if this is a hard one. I don't know if he knows this one. No, if you take something you could eat for 2 days and only eat it for 1 day, it's a problem. Why is it a problem? What is it called? The problem? It creates noisar. So what is it called? Beis psul. Exactly. Kachim beis psul. Maybe kachim beis psul. So, v'avagav dekom mefarik mar b'shchitas kachim. This is gewaldik. I love this. What does it say? B'shchitas kachim, meaning mesechtes vachim. It's another way. In the time of the Gemara, they didn't call it mesechtes vachim. They called it b'shchitas kachim. I'm learning what mesechta you're learning. Shchitas kachim. That's the mesechta. So even though I'm going to do it. Even though we already took this apart in zvachim. When did Reb Shimon say that you could do this all? This is to help a human being that's in a big tzara. He's having a bad day. He's a metzora, doesn't know what to do with himself, and he'll never be able to eat kachim again in his life. So we have a fix for him. But stamazoi, you can't tell somebody make a tanai on your carbon when it doesn't really help anybody. It says the Gemara, this is the answer. When is it a big problem and you can only do when you're helping somebody out to fix his life? It's by shlamim, because you took something, a carbon. You have 200 pounds of meat, and you just said, I'm limiting it. You could only eat the meat for 1 day. That's a big problem. The expiration date, you shorten the expiration date, it's terrible. But a mincha, all the menachos are the same exact date. They're all for 1 day. A mincha you can only eat 1 day. So I didn't mess anything up. Papa. Papa says the Rabbi Shimon do mechzer chalis mechzer rekikin Yovi. Hakamaisi isarin echad mishnei isarin v'lugach mishnei lugan. So this video, believe it or not, as silly as it is, it's really going to explain the sugya beautifully, because I wanted to bring 2 bags of flour, and I said, you know what, I don't need to, because this guy did a very good job here. Oh my. Okay. Where was it? Here. Basically, think about it. For the rikikin, I have to bring a bag of flour. For the chalas, I have to bring a bag of flour. Where am I doing my kmitza from? I'm making a tanai, a condition, that if I decided to bring half and half chalis, half this, so half should be a neder, half should be a nedava. I have to make a condition. I'm bringing 10 loaves of challah, 10 loaves of rikikin, and I start making conditions. If I said 8 and 2, so the 8 and 2 should be my real thing, and the rest should be a nedava. And if it's 5 and 5, the 5 and 5 should be my real carbon. But I have 2 separate bags of isar. I made my chalas out of 1 bag of flour, and I made my rikikin out of 1 bag of flour. How am I doing my kmitza? How am I mixing it? Here, check this out. This might explain a little bit better than what I just explained.
I need to bring a mincha for chova and a mincha for nedava. Okay, so we need an isaron of solet and an isaron of yoyin for each one.
What is the chova and what is the nedava? Half from here for chova and half for nedava. And half from here for chova and half from here for nedava. You said one here is nedava and one is chova. How can you divide the kli of solet and the kli with the shemen like that? Oh. I hold like Rabbi Shimon.
Okay. So that's the Gemara. You bring 1 isaron from 2, in other words, 1 isaron for each type. 1 lug for each type, for 1 lug for the rikikin, 1 for the chalas. So the Gemara is not a problem. Shmina later Reb Shimon the Omar Hevi Yisar Nechem Mishnei Yisrael Nois V'Lug Echad Mishnei Lugin Yatza. That what Reb Shimon holds in a completely different case. Listen to this. A person says, "I'm going to bring one Isarin." He ends up bringing two in two separate vessels, but he took a half from here and a half from here. L'chayr, it shouldn't be good. You don't have one together. You have a half here and a half here. He says it's okay. So over here also it's okay. As the Gemara, very good, it's okay. Umikman Seichi comments. You don't have the chayvan, you don't have everything together. You have a mixture of chayva and nedava in one bowl, and a mixture of chayva and nedava in the other bowl. Where do you do your kmitza from? The Masni V'Omari makes a condition, if I said I'm only going to bring chalos by themselves, or the rikikim by themselves, the kokamitza mechalos leva chalos, whatever I take kmitza from the chalos should be for the chala, the kokamitza rikikim leva rikikim. But if what I promised was half and half, or whatever combination, the kokamitza mechalos leva mechza chalos, umechza rikikim, whatever kmitza I take, it should be for the part of the nedava and the part of the neder, or the kokamitza rikikin, leva mechza rikikin or mechza chalos. Part of my kmitza will be for the nedava, part will be for the neder. Ask the Gemara, but you need one kmitza from both. They should all be. We said once. I'll just we don't have time here, but you do something like this, petitin, right? You take the challah, you break it up into pieces. You take the thing, and then once you have all the pieces of the challahs and the rikin together in one bowl, you do a kmitza like that. But it should be one kmitza from everything mixed in. Shamina l'Reb Shemin, daf kuf vav amud aleph. You should have one mixture, not two different kmitzas. Shamina l'Reb Shemin the Omar, im kometz v'al b'yodim, echad al shneim, yatsa. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDY.com.